So it's Thursday, December 14th, and for those of you who saw my last video, you'll know that there was a huge fire here in Ventura last week. And I ended up losing a few of my storage units. And the reality is I could have lost a whole lot more, and I could have also lost my house. If the fire department was 1 or 2 hours later than they were, everything could have easily have been gone. So I'm really grateful that they showed up when they did, and that they worked as hard as they did once they showed up. But the whole time that I was in danger of losing everything, I kept thinking to myself, you know, there's certain things like my clothes and my tools and my personal items that can be replaced. But the one thing that really can't be replaced is my finished art pieces. So I kept thinking to myself, you know, I wish I didn't have so much finished art here inside my storage unit and inside my house. I've currently got 3 places that I show my art down in Ventura. The biggest place is called the Executive Suites, and it's a big office building where they rent out offices to different businesses, and it's got these big wide hallways and lots of wall space. So, you know, I'm finally comfortable leaving the house this week. All the smoldering piles are out and there's no more fires breaking out anywhere. So I'm going to take this opportunity to move a few of my art pieces down to the Executive Suites. There's a lot less of a fire hazard there, and you know, even though there's no fires currently going on at my house right now, I've still got a lot of really dry trees and really dry brush around, and there's really no rain in the foreseeable forecast in the near future. So anyway, you know, most of my videos so far have been about woodworking and painting, but one of the things that I spend a lot of time doing that I haven't showed you guys is moving my art around. And anyway, I've got a box right here that I put in the back of my truck when I move my art, and you know, I have to move it carefully because I obviously don't want to damage it as I'm moving it, and there's always a chance that could happen. So I just take my time and do things carefully and try not to damage the work. But before we go down there, I'm going to take you guys inside the house and show you some of my art pieces in there. And you know, never mind the mess in there. I'm an eBay seller, so there's clutter everywhere. And I've also got art that belongs to other artists. I buy and sell art and sell art on eBay, so I've got works by other artists inside too, but most of it's mine. So anyway, we'll go in there real quick. I'll show you guys some of the art inside, and then I'm gonna go ahead and load up my truck and take you guys down to the Executive Suites. Okay, so I've got this blank wall right here, so I'm going to go ahead and hang this piece of art right here. But I wanted to take a minute to explain to you guys how I hang my art. Now, obviously, you can see here that the wire isn't really super long, but regardless of that, I almost always use 2 of these hooks to hang the art. And I usually always spread them, it depends on how long the wire is, but in this case, I'll probably spread the 2 hooks out by about 3 inches. And the reason that I do that is because I found that if I only put 1 hook right in the middle, and then I come back, say a month later, and look at the artwork, usually it'll be tilted and it won't be level. But with 2 hooks spread apart, usually when I come back in a few weeks or a month, the artwork stays level and stays exactly like I put it. Now, the other thing is, a lot of times I'll hang my artwork at 57, 58 inches to center. But in this case, I have a window. So I want to center the artwork out on the window as much as I possibly can, right in the middle of this wall right here. So, you know, the 57, 58 inch on center rule definitely doesn't apply here. Otherwise, it just looks funny if the painting's a lot lower, or not the painting, but the artwork's a lot lower than the window or higher. It looks best if it's right in the center. So I've got the artwork centered out on the wall, and I decided to center it between the edge of the window and the edge of this sign right here rather than the edge of the door. I just think it balanced out better that way. But I wanted to say something about the tags that I use really quick. Usually I use like an off-white piece of paper, and then I use double stick tape, and I tape that paper onto this black construction paper. And that makes a nice looking tag. Occasionally I will get the color paper as the same as the wall color. In this case, like a light green might be nice. But this building has all kinds of different colored walls all around. And it seems like I'm moving my paintings or my artwork around quite a bit. So I never know exactly what wall it's gonna be on when I bring it. But whenever I mount a tag, I usually end up using these Scotch clear mounting tabs. You know, I've had pretty good luck with these when I go to remove them. Usually they don't pull the paint off the wall, but depending on how good the bond of the paint is, sometimes it happens, and that's a bummer, especially if there's no touch-up paint. But I usually always use 2 tabs, and I put 1 on each side of the back of the tag, because sometimes if I just put 1 in the middle, I'll come back later and the tag will end up curling on the sides. But when I put 2, 1 on each end, then the tag usually lays flat up against the wall and it doesn't curl. And I've had pretty good luck with these tabs staying on the wall and not falling off, but occasionally they will fall off. So just depends on how long they're on there for. So they're getting ready to close here for the evening and lock the doors. So I've got to get going. But you know, I ended up hanging all the pieces that I brought today, and I didn't get around to putting tags on everything. And part of the reason for that is a lot of the pieces are what I would say consider in temporary locations. And I'll probably end up moving them later. So until I put something in a location that I really like and find the ideal wall for it, I really don't want to take the time to put a tag on it. But you know, as an artist, I do a lot of painting and I do a lot of wood art sculpture type pieces. So I really like having a place like this in town to hang my work, because you know, I really don't like having stuff in my storage unit where nobody can see it. So it's just nice when it's in a place where people can see it and enjoy it. So, you know, if you're an artist, I would really recommend checking around town and talking to different business owners and trying to find places to hang your art, because, you know, even if you don't sell it, it's just nice when people get to see it. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.